In recent years, the Birmingham City Academy has become a production line for the club's first team. Some of Britain's top talents have emerged through the Blues youth system.
It's a terrific run and a terrific goal for Birmingham City. Jordan Marks. Oh, what a beautiful goal! It's me, some good things are to come from this young fella. Strong hand from Butland.
Jack Butland there to make the save. He has been outstanding again today.
For the players that are doing really well here, there's not an obstacle for them to get into the first team. You've got an open-minded manager who's willing to pick the players. Our manager has shown a number of occasions he's selected the young players in front of senior players, where maybe the easy decision is to pick the senior player. I think that shows a level playing field for the players. And if there's a level playing field and an opportunity, that's really the last little bit of inspiration they need to get through.
The FA Youth Cup is the most coveted competition in youth football, but so far it's eluded the Blues. But there's a quiet optimism that this could be their year.
The FA Youth Cup, has that magic of probably the senior FA Cup. Everyone always wants to do well. All the clubs tend to play their best players. You've only got to look around the sorts of team sheets which are getting put out in them tournaments. I think that competitive element within the programme is a must for them to understand how to play games and how to do well in games. They've proved in the league games that they've played and in the cup competition so far with the likes of West Brom, the group has every chance of going all the way to the final. Like with any cup competition, you need a little bit of a luck along the way, and you have to play well in that 4 or 5 games to leading you into that end conclusion of the 2 games. Hopefully all we ask game by game is they do themselves justice and we get something out of that process. If that process ultimately means that we lose a game, will we have learned from the loss of a game? Will that help them players next year, or for the second years hopefully moving on to professional contracts? And that's all we can ask really.
Blues are drawn away at Norwich City in round 5 of the competition. With the game still 24 hours away, the squad arrives in Norfolk. Their preparations will continue at the De Vere Dunstan Hall Hotel on the outskirts of the city. Before the players head off for an early night, the academy coaching team made clear what's expected of them. With a hectic schedule to get through, the match day begins with a team meeting.
Give me stuff to carry yesterday. When we get there, what are you doing there? There you go. I'm meticulous, get down.
All I'm trying to try and do for you today is make sure you're absolutely prepared, but you're at the age now where you've got to take responsibility for it yourself. Yeah?
Coaches Steve Spooner and Gareth Holmes take the players through a detailed analysis of Norwich's strengths and weaknesses.
No pressure. So across the back, you've got to move it quickly. There we go, side. There we go. See how high and square they are. And further up the pitch you go, their fullbacks will push on. Drift it in. I think you could have drifted that further down there.
See,
no, what we
see where the boy is in there? How we usually have one on the front, yeah, and one on the GK. What we're going to do is put one on there, yeah, and one just in front of him. So you're going to box him off, and then we can get into the different runs on little angles. Yep.
Then it's off to a training pitch in the grounds of Dunstan Hall for some final preparations.
Minnie's out there for you.
For Academy manager Christian Speakman, the prospect of the FA Youth Cup is a very different challenge to the one faced in the normal league campaign.
There isn't really much an emphasis for us placed on our league position. It's about getting players through the system. We often play a very young team, and these games give you an opportunity to maybe put your best 11 together and see how they do in that environment. Most of today is trying to keep them on a calm, level playing field. As you can imagine, some of these boys are range 16 to 18, so them to come down to Norwich today is a long trip. It's a lovely hotel. They won't need any motivation for the game this evening, so a lot of it will be just trying to keep them calm and relaxed.
With the team still to be named, the coaching staff are keen not to give anything away. But the plan is to give young Ghanaian forward Kobe Arthur a chance to impress. The youngster is very highly thought of at the club, having already caught the eye of first-team manager Lee Clark.
He's a little pocket dynamo. He's quick. He plays high-tempo football. He can play anywhere across the attacking positions, both wide and as a striker. And I've also seen him play as a central midfield player. He can make a goal. He can score a goal, and his enthusiasm when he's been in with the group has been brilliant. So we think he's got a big future.
Kobe will be playing at some stage this evening. He's done fantastically well since he's been with us. He's obviously in the last couple of weeks had some first team recognition, and the manager's been very happy with him in the under 18, under 21 games, and he's obviously travels with the first team on the last two fixtures. So he might be a bit more of an unknown quantity for Norwich, because they probably won't have seen him play in any of our games. Certainly our previous Youth Cup games, he didn't get on in the last game. So hopefully between the squad of players, the starting 11 and the subs, we'll have enough to get a positive result. We'll have a quick discussion over lunch to make sure what we've got down on paper is what we want to go with, and then we'll have a pre-match meeting at 4 o'clock, and we'll go with the team then. And what you don't want as well is, certainly with the boys here, that some of them will be disappointed if they're not in the game, not in the team. It gives everyone opportunity still throughout the day, not to have any negativeness around the training facility, and make sure everyone's prepared for the game.
The players have the early part of the afternoon to themselves, and for some, there's an anxious wait until the coach leaves for the game. Norwich also have high hopes of progressing to the quarter-finals, and the game will be staged at the home of their first team, Carrow Road.
That's what we'll be going with. Nick, James, Callum, Bobby, Don, Brownie, Truslove, Damari, Charlie, Kobe, Reese. 12 Calendar, 13 Preston, 14 Ebanks, 15 Viv, 16 George. We've got to try and make sure we show what we're about in terms of with the ball, without the ball, how we conduct ourselves, how we approach the night, the professionalism that we're going to put into the game, and most of all, we want to do well.
Almost 30,000 fans pack into Carrow Road for first-team home matches. Tonight there'll be less than 1,000, but that's still more than most of the squad have ever played in front of. As Blues managers old and new take their seats, in the dressing room, coach Steve Spooner has a few final words for the players.
Okay, just a refresher for you. You know we stop them playing out from the back. If they have to kick long, we're in our shape quickly. If they get out from the back, one of the strikers sitting on the midfield play. Okay, 7 running inside the pitch. We know we're getting our shape. We're getting near narrow wide men when the ball's on the other side blocking the 10. Okay, it gets transferred, everybody's shuffling across and we come in. We got that, you know that. You know the set plays, you know the spins round the back, you know the 10 going short. You know what that one means. Us, let's get it out from the back. Let's play, let's build, let's go and create chances. Let's score, let's get the balls down the side. Okay, you can pass them out of it. I'm telling you, you are better than these. You are better. But you're going to have to go to war. If you let them come on top of you, they'll start picking you off. You have got to go man to man, toe to toe, and go to war with the person you're playing against. It's an individual battle. Let's not freeze like other games. Let's get it and play. Okay? Come on, everyone.
Both sides cancel each other out early on, and midway through the first half, the scoreline remains goalless. The home side go close on the half hour, but brave blocks from goalkeeper Nick Townsend and skipper James Fry keep them at bay. And Blues get stronger as the half wears on. Callum Thompson hits the woodwork. Striker Rhys Hales then forces a decent save out of the Norwich keeper. Kobe Arthur's impact on the game hasn't been quite what the coaching team had in mind, but he shows a brief glimpse of what he's capable of. The first half ends with neither team able to make the breakthrough and allows the Blues players to regroup in the dressing room.
I stuck my phone with my hand and it's just pushing into it.
The staff are here to help you, and there would be on the first team game. You've got to be quicker to adapt to it. That was almost like 2 hours in 1 half. Yeah? Now, the only real point I want to stress to you here is your communication between the units. We spoke about it briefly in the team meeting. Steve and Gareth showed it on the DVD in the units, and you have to some extent block the spaces, but we've been far too deep. You've got to get up tight on them, get some pressure on the play. When you've got the pressure in the play, in their top of their third, yeah, just over the halfway line, you've looked a completely different team.
If it's Code going there and it's you, Housey, what you're doing at times is you're doing that.
Yeah.
And you're blocking him, that's right.
Mark,
do that.
Mark 2.
As soon as it goes out there, Code, do that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Blocking him there. Now then, you boys, if it's on this side, Dim, from there, and we've got that, and we've done that, and he's looking to clip that, I'm expecting you there. Okay? I'm expecting it. Now you've got to be more physical. You're getting pushed off the ball like you're a kid. You've got to be stronger. You've gone through fantastic there, but then you've just let him barge you. It's almost you're coming in, you're waiting for a hit, and you're going to go down. You've got to be strong. You've got to tense your body and make him hit like a hit in a brick. Okay? You've got to be much stronger there.
Blues make a tactical change. Off goes right back Dominic Bernard for attacker Dequan Ebanks.
Come on, you. Come on.
With 45 minutes left, there's all to play for. Blues begin brightly, but struggle to create any clear-cut chances. And with 12 minutes left, they're made to pay. The youngsters are on the verge of going out. It sparks a substitution. Viv Solomon Otterbourg comes on for Damari Gray. Liam Truslove's shot offers hope. While a third and final sub, George O'Neill, is introduced. But the home side are almost out of sight soon after. The crossbar coming to Blues' rescue. Time is running out. In the 89th minute, Truslove tries his luck again. And 5 minutes of added time are ticking away quickly. Just as all hope seemed lost, in the 4th minute of stoppage time, Ebanks sets O'Neill free. The game goes to extra time.
Just calm down. We'll just leave it as it is now, George. Just stay there. You've got pace and you'll look after it. Okay? Now, you have crossed yourself in there through not dealing in the centre of midfield. That's all. We've got to get more pressure on the right when he goes out there. So Georgie needs help. Okay? So we need to get the left-sided one to come over there. Now, Coach, you're going to have to come back and play out here now on the left again. Okay? Quan out on the left. Yeah, better with the legs, yeah. Yeah.
So you go right, you go off the top, and Hale's just out in the middle.
Quani, you've got, as soon as he goes out to the wide right, you have got to protect George. And nothing for the team, you two in there. You've got to stop in your flipping pansy football and start tackling like proper midfield players who want to play in the championship. Right? Yes? Now start doing it.
One or two want to start getting after him as well. You're letting
them get away with it. Now this is it for you to win. Come on. Now you've got to get back and you've got to look after it. George, balls down the channels. Okay? Now come on. Come on, boys.
Arthur almost gets an early goal, but it's Norwich who start the stronger team. Tired legs are beginning to show. Norwich get a second, and this time it looks a long way back. Arthur sets up Ebanks, but a deflection takes the sting out of his shot. Defender Callum Thompson then hits one from long range, but the keeper pulls off a good save. It's all over. Norwich are through, and it's the end of the road for Blues.
horrible, isn't it? Eh? You don't want this feeling. You've got to remember, right? Every time you play, you've got to take something from it, whether it's good or it's bad. And tonight, unfortunately for everyone, players, staff, it's not a good feeling. You've got to remember this hurt and this disappointment and what it's like, to make sure it very rarely happens in your career. Because it will come again, it'll happen again. If you're going to be successful, you're going to have a long career, but you need to keep it to a minimum. And you make sure that you give everything you've got, every time you play, so it is at the minimum. And you remember this night, and you think, I don't want to go through that again. I do not want that feeling again. So we've got to bounce back. There's other things for you to aim for now this season. Contracts, chances in the development squad, and then chances in the first team, which is where we all want to be. That's the progression. You've had a great experience the last couple of days. You've played at a fantastic stadium. I've worked at this football. But who wants to be out there when it's packed to the rafters and it's electric? That's the time.